Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. Women to the front. See, I am going to say the way it is because sometimes we mess up, and some people do not want to be corrected, but it's okay, right? Now, a young lady is actually out there on the internet, as of all places on the internet, crying, right? Because her first date with a white man was supposed to be at Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier, I hope you all know where Lake Lanier is. I am sure most majority of you know where Lake Lanier is. I know, right? And the history behind Lake Lanier. And your first date, right, actually asked you to meet him up at Lake Lanier. She went, and the man did not come up and said 1 hour later. And after 1 hour, she started saying this is not cool and all of that. So it happened that the man said, "Go home. I am no longer coming." And this young lady is out on the internet crying her eyes out. And this is the only man I've opened up my heart to. And our first date, I mean, the first time probably they were supposed to meet at Lake, of all places to meet, it is at Lake Lanier. See, help me judge this. Help me judge this. Because you cannot tell me this is one of the reasons why I say, as whoever you are, history is something you really need to know. Because when you don't know it, you are bound to repeat the same history. Look at what somebody is out on the internet saying, of all places. Let's get into this.
So I just got stood up for the first time. And it's so crazy because I did not see the red flags. He completely did a 180. He basically told me that he wanted to meet me at Lake Lanier out of all places, and told me to be there at 5. And I got there at 5, and I texted him. I said, I'm here. And he was like, "Oh, well, I won't be there until 6. So a whole hour later, so I let him know, like, hey, that's not cool. And I said it in this tone, that's not cool. That's one of my big pet peeves. Like, you can't be an hour late. He proceeds to tell me to go home and that he wasn't coming anymore. And so I'm at this haunted ass lake being stood up by a white boy. Basically the first white boy I've ever dated. And yeah, I'm just really afraid to open my heart up because this is the type of stuff that happens to lover girls.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is why European American men, Caucasian men in the United States, this is why they feel like gods. This is a black woman complaining about being stood up by a white man at a location that is publicly known by everyone in America as the perfect place to go unalive someone. Her little Caucasian babe. Y'all be saying they do dinners, they pay for chickens, they pay for what? He told her to go meet him at a fucking lake for a first date. At a lake that every year multiple people disappear at. He stood her up and she's on here upset. He could have showed up, would have had another, what's it called, Shadi Robinson. And then the next day, our black women would have had amnesia and would have gone right back to, oh my God, white men are the best. Black men, again, we need to separate. We do not belong together anymore. This is not malicious. This is just culturally, we as a people, we don't belong together anymore. All right, first of all, I would never, ever ask myself that or even think that at all. But thanks to us, black people, I believe that there are a decent number of white men right now asking themselves this question. And let me explain.
This is just a quick message to the black people. Black people, y'all, we really call 90 the beans, but that's a conversation for another time. But black people, did we forget we got colonized? Is that what the problem is? Just a question. Did we forget we got colonized?
Someone sent me a video of that guy's video and I watched it, and that question was a very good question. So let me explain what I'm trying to say. Now, I need you to imagine yourself. I just need you to imagine yourself as a Caucasian man, as a white man. In 2024, you wake up, you know the history of this world, you know the history of the United States, you know that your ancestors went to Africa and found a group of people and claimed to be friends with them, and you know the story, and you brought them here as slaves, and for generations your ancestors enslaved these people. You know this. Your ancestors, after a while, these people became free, and then your ancestors put laws and things into place to ensure that these people will never achieve anything in life. Your ancestors created HOAs as a way to legally harass black people. Your ancestors created copay as a way to ensure that these people can never afford, can never get full medical. Like, everything that's wrong with this country today that people complain about are things that your ancestors installed to stop one group of people from advancing. Every time they've built anything, you've burnt down their cities. Every time they've done anything, you've hurt them. Every time, like, you've gone as far as creating institutions to ensure that they never have families to challenge you. And then you wake up in 2024 and then you watch those same people having all the arguments they're making on the internet. Let me even go. As a man, you watch the women of that group belittle their men for you, who did all of that to them. You watch the women of that group change history and accuse their men of things that you did, and you know you did it. You watch their women accuse them of that in favor of you. You watch their women call you, like, you know that you and your ancestors and your people can indiscriminately, because of the power you have, and because of your numbers and the system, you could indiscriminately go out there and unalive as many of those men as you want, and and get away with it. And then you watch their women make jokes about that, calling them names like bullet bag. For you, they write books titled White Man's Whore, how to get a white man, how to be a submissive black woman for a white man, how to get picked by the right white man. You watch them write those books for you, the women that your ancestors enslaved, that till this moment you still have things in place to ensure that those women never achieve anything. You still have those things in place. But you're watching them create YouTube channels. You're watching them create YouTube channels, have over 500,000 followers, telling other women like them that they should abort male offsprings that look like them and only have female offsprings that look like them, so that they can procreate with you to eradicate them. People that you've done all these things to. And then you come on TikTok, you're watching you're watching two girls in basketball, two young girls, one black, one white. You see how you and your friends attack the black one for her race. You attack her relentlessly to uplift your own. And another woman makes a video about how you are the the best thing since sliced bread, and their men are useless. And you watch that woman that you've been denigrating for the last 2-3 years repost that video that uplifts you in favor of her men. And then the next day you wake up to watch a video of a woman from that group willingly doing something that your ancestors enslaved them for. She's like, oh, I'm picking cotton, it's in my blood. And you're watching if you're that person, if you're that white guy, why would you not believe that you are a literal God? If I can go out and do all of these things to all these people and still watch the women of that group say these things for me, who still till today, like a couple of days ago, I watched one of the guys from my group go into a woman's house, and he was thinking, you know what, I haven't unalived a negress today, and he just pow in the face. Only for a few days later, you watch them collectively say you're still better. Tell me why you would not think you're a fucking god.
So this is all I got from this video, and I am not going to mince words. I will be telling us the real truth and nothing but the truth, right? We can have some shame sometimes. I am a Black woman, right? And she said, of all places to go on first date. See, I want you all to follow me. She is American, right? I am not. I know about Lake Lanier. It's in Georgia, right? Nothing, even nothing will ever make a reasonable person go to a Lake Lanier on a first date. Even my own brother, my kinfolk, I am not coming. Lake Lanier, I am not going. Nothing is going to take me there. Whether first, second, or third, or fifth date, I am not going. Why? Because I know the history behind Lake Lanier. And she knows about Lake Lanier. See, now this is the problem. Some people, I don't understand how some people sometimes tend to forget what happened to them. One of the reasons why when each time I talk about when you forget your history, you are bound to repeat the same history. This is exactly what she did. She did the same thing, right? Now, Lake Lanier has been anti-Black and Black violence for how many years? More than 100 years. If only you know how many people that look like me that probably passed through there and no more. Right? I think since September 1912, since September 1912 till this very moment, and a full-grown woman is out there crying in 2024 that a white boy stood her up at Lake Lanier. How did that sound? Ooh. Really, I don't know how to say it, but there are some things we do not need to be told. I am happy that she said of all places to go that it is Lake Lanier that they did. That is to tell you how your brain is not functioning. Some people, when they are in love, their brain is not functioning. I am telling you, even my kinfolk telling me to come to Lake Lanier, I am not going. I am a good swimmer. I swim ocean. Bro, I am not going. And invited you. You are in the car. Are you not even ashamed? See, I am not shaming anybody. Do not think that I am trying to shame her for her mistake. I am not shaming her, right? But I am saying that I am also ashamed that she sat in the car and she is crying that somebody stood her out. Something that she would go home or from there to a restaurant and eat a very good food. Why? Because she ate, her Lord saved her. Have a good food on whoever behalf, and that is the end of it. And she's in the car telling me the only person you open. I understand how it hurts. Like how can you even fall in love with somebody you've not met? That also stood you up like Lanier. Oof. Sometimes I feel like some people really need to get accustomed with some certain things going on in their community or in their own history, because when you don't know some certain things, it goes so much wrong. See, as I don't know, but as a sister, as a sister, as a woman, there are some places you are not supposed to go. I don't know how you say it. I don't know how you don't say it. There are places you do not go to on your first day. What I see, probably his plan was you are really, this young lady should thank her stars. Probably maybe the man's plan was probably come, I am going to come there and probably eye you, right? And maybe he got a change of heart, decided not to abolish, he decided to abolish the mission, and you are in your car crying She needs, I mean, like, you know what they call cord. Cords are those, like, okay, this is a cord. This is a cord. Do you know where we use it on her? At the back of her neck. Why? It does reset people's brain because her brain needs to reset so that whatever spell that is closing her eyes can disappear. So she will get freedom because this is not normal. Lake Lanier of all places. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.